Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I will be doing my predictions for AEW All Out 2023. So first up we have it's been announced for Collision that Ricky Starks is going to challenge Ricky Steamboat to a strap match. So I'm going to go off the assumption that Steamboat is going to accept that challenge and the match is going to happen All Out. And for me, I would have Ricky Starks then win that match just because he's been suspended for, 28 days. He's not wrestled for so long. And yeah, just a case of it's an old guy putting the newer guy over. But yeah, I can't see it going any other way than Ricky Starks getting the win, especially as he's been suspended. Obviously, I've had a feeling he was going to be feuding with Punk still, but then he's not around anymore at the minute, we think. So yeah, pretty straightforward prediction for this one. If this match happens All Out, Ricky Starks is going to get the win. Next up we have Eddie Kingston and Shibata taking on the Blackpool Combat Club members of Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli. This seems very thrown together for me. They also didn't announce it at Dynamite, they announced it after Dynamite, which I didn't see the point of, but either way, don't matter. For me, I've got Claudio and Wheeler to get the win here, just because the Blackpool Combat Club as a team haven't had a win in a while. Obviously, they lost it All Out, they've lost on Dynamite, so I think this will be a good way to get the Blackpool Combat Club on winning ways again. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be a really good match. I would have preferred having Claudio and Eddie Kingston just kind of have a one-on-one match, like no DQ, like brawl over the arena, similar to what they did at Stadium Stampede for a bit, but have it specifically just for them. I know they did a similar match at Ring of Honor, but I would have had the AEW one be like more violent and less rules around it. But yeah, it's going to be a really good match. Obviously, both Wheeler and Claudio are really good as a team. Obviously, we'll see how Eddie Kingston and Shibata are as a team. I can't imagine they'll be very bad. You know, they're both really good wrestlers. So, yeah, it's a match I'm vaguely interested in just because I'm a big fan of the Blackpool Combat Club. And yeah, I've got them to get the win here. Next up, we have MJF and Adam Cole, better than you, baby, taking on the Dark Orders, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. For me, I feel this is a pretty straightforward win for Cole and MJF here. I was surprised, obviously a spoiler from Rampage is that Dark Order won the Battle Royal. I was surprised it was them. I was expecting maybe the Hardys, maybe have an Aussie Open rematch. But no, we got a surprise almost in Dark Order, as they've been doing more Ring of Honor stuff recently, not AEW. But either way, it should be a decent match. But I think it's pretty clear that Adam Cole and MJF are going to get the win here. Following that, we have Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor Television Championship against Shane Taylor. For me, I'm going to go for Samoa Joe to retain here. I don't really know much about Shane Taylor. I've never actually seen him wrestle. I don't watch Ring of Honor, so I can't really say much about him. But with Samoa Joe losing at All In, I feel like he's going to get the win, not the win back, but just get back on track with winning here at All Out. So, but yeah, I'm not really got much to say about this one because I don't know anything about Shane Taylor. But yeah, for me, just because I don't know who Shane Taylor is, I'm going to go with Samoa Joe to retain here. Following that, we have FTR and the Young Bucks teaming up to take on Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White, Juice Robinson and the Guns. For me, I feel like the Bullet Club Gold are going to get the win in this one, just because I feel like there's going to be a miscommunication between FTR and the Bucks, and they'll end up falling out. I know that they ended up shaking hands and showing respect after All In, but the last thing we saw of the Bucks and FTR, the Bucks had walked out from a handshake. So that would suggest to me that there will be that kind of how will they coexist kind of feel going into this, of which Bullet Club Gold will take advantage of that and get the win. I think this is going to be a really good tag team match. Obviously, both teams are very good, and though it feels very thrown together, but I don't know where I said on my All In video, or I definitely thought about how FTR's next match will be against Bullet Club Gold. And obviously they've had the case of Bullet Club Gold beat pretty much the whole of the Elite in one night, or in at least a few weeks. That would be pretty cool as well to say. Saying that they beat Kenny and Hangman on one pay-per-view and then the Bucks on the other. That would definitely show that they are the more dominant side of Bullet Club rather than the Elite, and I feel that's a good storyline to go for as far as pushing them further up the card, maybe having the Guns go for the tag titles, Robinson go for the TNT title and having JY go up for the World Championship. I feel like it'd be 4 really good feuds right there. And yeah, there's a really good match coming up, but I have Bullet Club Gold to take the win here. Following that, we have Miro taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. For me, I feel like AEW really booked themselves into a corner here, because in my opinion, both guys need the win, and I don't think they're going to have like a screwy DQ finish or anything, but my choice is going to be Miro to get the win here, and then probably go on towards the TNT or International Championship. But yeah, I can't really give a reason why Powerhouse Hobbs should lose either. Like, he should be winning as well. Like, both of them are really good, both of them should be getting pushed, but I don't know, the way they've chosen to have these two put together. I know that like Hobbs wants redemption and Miro is the Redeemer, but I don't know, it kind of feels like they've been, as I said, they've been put into a corner here where both men need the win, so why would you have them face each other? But if I had to choose one of them, it would be Miro. I feel like he deserves it more as well. I know that Hobbs is very deserving, but Miro's been off TV for nearly a year, or over a year I think it was actually, and yeah, first pay-per-view match back, and he should be definitely getting the win here and definitely going towards championships. Next up, we have Chris Statlander defending the TBS Championship against Ruby Soho. For me, just based on having the women have a storyline for the TBS Championship, I'm going to have Ruby Soho to get the win here and become the new TBS champion, just because I think it would make a really good story within the Outcasts to have Saraya and Ruby Soho be champions and Tony not be, because it's a complete flip from a few months ago where Tony was the only champion in the group. That would then make Tony more paranoid, and I've liked this kind of new character from Tony where she's that bit more mad, she's a bit more insane, and I think that would add to the paranoia of her. I know that they're doing a tag match with the whole of the Outcasts, and it doesn't make any sense to me, as far as I was concerned after All In, Storm was out of the Outcasts, but clearly that's not the case. So for me, I feel like it would add to the story if, as I said, Ruby was champion, Saraya was champion, and Tony was going absolutely nuts because she wasn't a champion. And if they were going to remove Tony from the group, I would have her be replaced by Athena, not because I think Athena is an absolutely brilliant heel, and you know, it's really revitalized her career being a heel on Ring of Honor. But also, you then have the AEW Women's Champion, the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and the TBS Champion all in one group, meaning that the Outcasts do truly control the women's division in AEW, which I think is a really cool storyline as well. But yeah, as I said, I just want some cool storylines for the women's division, because man, have they been lacking some stories, and I feel like this is a really good opportunity to get that from the women's division. So yeah, Ruby Soho has become the new TBS champion. Following that, we have Darby Allin taking on Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship, and for me, I feel like Darby Allin's going to get the win here. I'm not enjoying Luchasaurus as like a heel and as this destructive force. What I am enjoying is Christian Cage. I'm a huge fan of Christian Cage and the heel run he's been going on. I just don't feel like Luchasaurus fits this quite well. You could do with almost like, I don't know what the word is, I'm trying to think of, reinvent Luchasaurus, maybe give him a new name and just have him be more destructive. I like the mask stuff and everything like that, but just having a guy called Luchasaurus is not that intimidating. And also, everything that made Luchasaurus cool has been taken away from him by becoming a heel. Like all the flips and the kicks and everything like that, it was really cool. But since he's turned heel, we don't get any of that, and I feel like it was the wrong decision. And I feel like there's more people on the roster, or more people you could bring into the roster to have a Christian Cage, which is big guy next to him. And I feel like Luchasaurus wasn't the right guy for that. And I feel like if we have him lose the title, maybe because of Christian, we'll have that kind of face turn from Luchasaurus, and hopefully he can go on a better run. Or, as I said, he loses, he disappears for a bit, and reinvents the character of Luchasaurus as maybe something else. Because I don't know, it's just not sitting well with me, like the Luchasaurus thing as a whole. But I do love Christian Cage. Also, Darby Allin is fully deserving of being the TNT champion again for a third or fourth time now. And he's just been putting on really good matches week after week after week, similar to kind of what Orange Cassidy is doing. I'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, I feel like he could do some real good stuff with the TNT Championship. We could do with a champion that is champion for a while, as it doesn't feel like a hot potato, but it also doesn't feel like it's got much credibility just because of how much it's changed hands over the last few years. And yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of the highlights of the night, just as a match as a whole, as Darby Allin does seem to put on really good matches with bigger guys. And yeah, it's one I'm definitely looking forward to. But as I've said, Darby Allin to become the new TNT champion. Next up in the match that I think should be the main event, but it probably won't be, is Jon Moxley taking on Orange Cassidy for the International Championship even. For me, I feel like Jon Moxley's going to get the win here just because of how beat up Orange Cassidy is. Orange Cassidy did this awesome promo on Dynamite last night, and I tell you, every week I'm becoming more of a fan of Orange Cassidy, especially like since he's become international champion. He's been putting great matches on with Buddy Murphy, with Penta last night, just as a couple of examples. And yeah, I've really been enjoying it, but I feel like just because of how hurt Orange Cassidy is, and Moxley is going to fully take advantage of that, and he'll probably use some awful submissions to make it look even worse. And I think it's going to end up with Moxley being the international champion. I know it feels like a bit of a step down for Moxley because of how many times he's been the world champion, but I feel like at this point the international championship is more credible than the TNT championship. And if Moxley can carry on putting on great matches just like Orange Cassidy as international champion, then I'm fully up for it. Though I do wonder when Moxley is going to get his vacation. And finally, in what I assume will be the main event, we have Kenny Omega taking on Konosuke Takeshita. It's easy for me to say. I feel like this is going to be an absolute classic wrestling-wise, similar to the Cassidy and Moxley match. I feel like those two matches are going to be absolutely insane wrestling-wise. But for me, I've got Kenny Omega to get the win here just because Takeshita got the win over Kenny in the tag team match last week at All In. Therefore, Kenny will get his win back here, and maybe they'll have some kind of rubber match in the future. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be a technical classic. Probably wouldn't be match of the night, or at least one of the matches of the night. And yeah, it's one I'm really looking forward to. The story's been really cool between Don Callis and Kenny Omega. I feel like that's also going to play into maybe a rematch with Omega and Ospreay at some point, but when, I have no idea. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I don't really have much more to say other than, I feel like Kenny Omega will get the win and it might lead to more matches with them down the line. But yeah, I feel like definitely going to be a match of the night contender. I'm very much looking forward to it. So those are my predictions for AEW All Out 2023. Do comment down below what you think match of the night will be and just your predictions for the night in general. Also, any feedback for me, please do put down below. It would be much appreciated. Definitely hoping to improve on my, I can't find it, in the 30 out of 37 ratio I have for predictions being correct. I feel like it's a very good record. And yeah, I'm pretty confident with most of my predictions. I feel like only Cassidy and Moxley, Omega Takeshita, and what's the other one? Miro and Hobbs are going to be the outliers in this one. Everything else I'm pretty confident about. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the show. I hope you guys have been enjoying all the content that's been coming out. I know I've been pretty busy uploading a lot more than usual. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the content, and I will ask you to like, subscribe, comment, share, all that usual stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video.